Hey guys, welcome to Why Will Your Team Not Win the OHL Cup? So, let's start from the bottom. The Saginaw Spirit. Are you serious? Saginaw has no chance of winning the OHL Cup in my opinion. 24 games in, they're 8-13, 2-1. They are not on a good roll, on a 1-game winning streak. By the way, this is being shot on Tuesday, November 29th. So if anything that goes on beyond that day, don't blame me. So let's look at their roster. Kyle Ballers, Bradley Gilmore, Chris Bennett, JJ Bustecker, Matthew Kreis, Max Condon, Craig Niskov, a bunch of other people. You literally look at this roster. Keaton Middleton, maybe. Evan Cormier, maybe the best two players there. They're literally the best draft pick in the NHL is Michael Stevens. Second round, number 33rd overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's go to Mississauga next. Mississauga is the worst team in the league right now with a record of 6-11-3-3. And once again, their best player, Michael McLeod, definitely. No doubt about that. 12th overall, drafted by New Jersey this year. But once you get there, you're like, who? Nathan Bastian. Like, they have Aiden McCrelland. Like, they have some good players. Spencer Watson from Kingston. Let's see his stats. Like, there's really good players on this team. Owen Tippett. Well, even though Spencer Watson technically is part of Mississauga, he hasn't played a single game for them this year. I don't think he will. So I think he is in the NHL right now with LA. Or at least AHL. That's how we look it up right now. But anyway, as I'm looking this up, Mississauga, you won't win them because you don't have that superstar yet. You have good players. Good players are different than superstars. I think and as I look this up, Spencer Watson, right now, is playing with Ontario Reigns, or the AHL. He hasn't played a game with them either. So he's injured, actually. Him and his brother Matthew both aren't in the OHL anymore, I don't believe. So look at Matthew. Both came out of London, Ontario. Yeah, they both used to play for Kingston, but right now, his twin brother Matthew is with the OHL with the Burlington Cougars. So if they ever, I doubt they would never get Spencer Watson back, but they really have no one defensively. So basically their problem, defense. They don't have defense. They have Matthew Mancina in goal. Good goalie. Good goalie. But they just don't have that defense that will push their offense to the next level and win them the cup. Barry's usually always the dominant team. As you get a look at their roster, they have pretty good players. One reason that they are doing so bad right now, as everyone can probably guess, Mackenzie Blackwood. They don't have him anymore. They have David Arjenikov. He's not bad this year. But as I get a look at the defense, Tucker, Cameron, Landry, Keane, and Hedberg. 5 players out of the 8 defensemen are all rookies. Another problem with them, defense. They have almost more rookie. They have almost as many rookies as players who aren't. As you get a look, as you look at the roster here, they have Kryly Nishkinov from Moscow, Russia, drafted 7th overall by Mississauga. And that's pretty good. But I just think that they don't have anyone that will win them that cup. They don't have the goaltending anymore. They don't have the offense. They don't have the defense. They just don't have anything enough to win them the cup this year. As you get a look at Guelph, doing pretty bad this year as well. Liam Herbst is the goalie. They have Ryan Murphy, 1st overall drafted this year by Guelph. He's going to be one of their he's a really good player, obviously, 1st overall. But no, they have good players. Their problem, team chemistry. The only thing is, they don't have that chemistry that will win. Because if you look at every team that has won the Memorial Cup in the past 2 or 3 years, London, Erie, and OHL Cup the last 3 years is London, Oshawa, Erie. They were all not going up together, but they all had good team chemistry. So that is the big problem with Guelph, is they don't have that chemistry yet. That will win them the cup. Kingston, missing stars. As I said before, they're missing Spencer Watson, who was a huge help for them last year. Even though they still have Sam Harding, Stephen DeRoche, and goaltender Jimmy Helbig. They don't have Michael Dalcole anymore, who is actually doing really good in the NHL or AHL. I heard that he was doing some good somewhere. I think it's AHL. As I look at EliteProspects.com, not sponsored, wish I was. Dalcole is a bull who uses his natural talents. He gets imposing frame and already shows great balance and strength on his skates. He plays a 2-way game, battles hurt, and displays quick hands for his size. And yeah, I was right. He plays in the AHL right now. He's doing pretty good. He has 9 points in 18 games. Pretty good. When he was the captain of the Generals, 25 points in 30 games. Before that, when they won the Memorial Cup in 2014-2015, 93 points in 56 games. That's when the Generals were killing everyone. So he was a big part of that roster. And now, last year when he was playing with them, he was great. In the 2016 playoffs, they had everyone. They had Lawson Krause, they had Spencer Watson, they had Chad Duchesne, not Duchesne's brother, I believe. Nathan Billiter. I think they might still have him actually. Lucas Parasini they had. Like, they had a lot of great players. As we get a look at what Michael Dow Cole did. Well, I get a look at what Michael Dow Cole did. I'll tell you. In the playoffs. In this season stats, he had 80 points in 60 games that year. Last year. In the playoffs, 5, 9, 10, 14, 15, 18 points. So, he had 18 points in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In 9 games. Big part of why they're not doing good this year. With Dow Cole, Lawson, Krause, Spencer Watson all gone out of their lineup. They don't have that star players anymore. As we get a look at, as we talk about Sudbury next. Sudbury Wolves. Is this an actual question on why Sudbury won't win the cup? They have pretty decent stars. The brothers, the Pilons, Jake and Darian, Chandler, Yakimowicz, Dmitry Solikov, Kakyenko. But they have a great rookie goalie in Jacob McGrath. But the thing is, that's exactly right. He's a rookie. They don't have the goaltending. Zach Bowman, he can't win himself. He can't win the championship for them. He's trying to. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely trying to. But with a record of 5-10-0-0, you can't do that. You can't win an OHL Cup on that. He doesn't have the offense or defense in front of him to win that cup. With a GAA of 3.33 and a save percentage of 0.906, you can't win that. Why? I will give them one good thing they have, and that is the Pilons and Yakimowicz. Sorry, no for a fact I'm butchering that name. Sorry, Chandler. But as you look at it, Drake Pilon, Darian Pilon, Chandler, Dmitry Sokolov, they have pretty good players. Michael Bezzetta. They have really good players. But they don't have that star talent that they need. That London has, that Erie has, and used to have, Oshawa has. Like, they don't have that. You get, we talk about Niagara. Now we start getting into the decent teams this year. They have Joshua Down, who's playing a decent year. But he's another team that, not their defense, but their offense. I'll name them 100% of their rookies, forward rookies. Smith, Akala, Demon, Phillip, Singer, Castleman, Thomas. They had 7 forwards that are rookies. Akil, first round pick. Castleman, 4th round. Singer, 8th round. Phillip, 9th round. Pavel Demine, 1st round, 35th. As Akil Thomas was 12th overall. Andre Makala, 2nd round. And Ryan Smith, 5th round. So they have a lot of rookies, and that's another reason they don't have the experience that they have. As we get talking about better teams with rookies, like Oshawa. Oshawa has 3 main rookies, but the thing is, they are producing. The players that are on these last few teams that don't have that pretty much all rookies. Those rookies aren't producing. As you get next, we'll talk about Peterborough Petes. The Peterborough Petes are rivals of the Ottawa Generals. The half of the greatest rivalry in OHL. They have good players. Jonathan Ang, I don't think he's he is. He just playing. I remember he's dominating. He dominated Oshawa last time he's been there. So they have a goalie in Dylan Wells. They have defense in Cole Fraser and Matt Spencer, Matthew Timms. They have Logan DeNoble in forward. They have CJ Clark, Zach Gallant, Jonathan Ang, Adam Tumek. Zach Gallant. They have good experience. The thing is, they, for some reason, cannot seem to beat the low-ranked teams in their own sound in Hamilton. Even though right now Owen Sound's playing really good. In Kingston, they can't beat. So they can't really beat the low-ranked teams that they need to beat to get those points up. As we look at Ottawa, as we're coming up to a halfway point. Halfway point's going to be starting here, by the way. So, Ottawa, they have Ben Fanjoy, David Pierce, Arthur Tanulin, Patrick White, Sasha, Noel Hoffenmaker, right? Jacob Middleton, and Leo Lazaroff as a goalie. So, I think the reason is they don't have that depth defensively. They don't have anyone who can stand out defenseman, in my opinion. They have a lot of defensemen. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 defensemen. So they have a lot of depth defensively, but they don't have that stud that they should need to win a cup. Another problem defensively. Next, are we talking about Flint? Okay. Now we're starting getting the good teams. In my opinion, Flint is one of the biggest surprises this season, along with Windsor. They don't have that many good players. They have Nicholas Camano, Everett Clark, Cullen Mercer, Jalen Samaric, and they don't even have a good goalie other than Connor Hicks. So, they have good players, but they don't really have that many. They can't seem to beat the teams that they need to beat. They're in a real tough division, right? So, they're in a real tough conference in the Eastern Conference with teams like, I think they're in the East. No, they're in the West, right? They're in a very tough division with Sault Ste. Marie, Windsor, Sarnia. I'm not saying them, but they have really tough defense. And that's another reason they won't win, is tough division. Flint can't stand up to teams like Sault Ste. Marie and Windsor this year. Even though they're tied with Sarnia, basically, they're 1 point behind Sarnia as I make this video. So they're just in a tough division this year. As we get to a halfway point, Sarnia. Same division as Flint. So they have really tough opponents, really tough division. In my opinion, they have really good players, so they can challenge. But Right now, Sault Ste. Marie is just dominating it. The win against Oshawa was their 7th in a row, so they're really on fire right now. They have great players like Sarnia has really great players like Luis Talata, Jaden Lindo, Jordan Caillou, Jordan Ernst, Alex Black, and the goalie Justin Fazio. The goaltending. No goaltending basically is their problem. They don't have that good of a goaltender this year. Justin Fazio, 12-6-2-0 with a GAA of 3.42 and a save percentage of 0.901. That won't win championships. I'm not expecting him to be someone like Carey Price, Braden Holtby, Quick Lundqvist, or Jeremy Boder in the OHL. But he still needs to steal games for them. Right now the record of 13-10-3-0. Good record. But when you're looking at people in their division like Sault Ste. Marie who are 18-7-1-0 with 37 points, they're behind by a good 8 points. So they need their goalie in Fazio to start stealing games. And I don't think he has the ability to do that. Next we'll be talking about Hamilton Bulldogs. First 3 people I see here, all rookies. Roberts, Nurse, Isaac, Nurse, I think that might be, but I don't know. No, I don't think they are. Zachary Jackson, all rookie. But other than that, they don't have any rookies. Literally, no rookies other than those 3. So, they have really good players. They have Will Bitten. They have Matthew Strome. They have Matt Luff. They have Trent Fox. So, they have really dominant players this year. Offense. Defensively, that's where they fall down. They have no one defensively. They have all the Lemke, Kachina, Saban, Webb, Candela, Hanley, Walters, Gleason. If you were part of the OHL, would you have heard of any of those guys? Probably not. Because none of them, except for Cole Candela, is drafted in the NHL. And Candela wasn't even that high of a pick. He was a 5th round, 140th overall pick. Definitely defense. Get now, 0-7 attack. No offense. And no defense. Right now, they're getting by on the strength of their defense. They are one of the really low scoring teams in the league, but they have the dominant defense that holds teams so that the offense can get those one goal games and 2 goal games that they need to win the game. Jacob Friend, Kevin Cole, Santino Citroen, Marcus Phillips, Trenton Bork. All those guys are keeping the opponents down to less shots for Michael McNiven and Emil Fella, to get those easy saves and less saves. If you can get a goalie who has less shots against, you're going to have real good success. Now we're getting into what I think is going to be the hard part for me, finding out why these teams won't win this OHL Cup. Kitchener, Joseph Garaffa. As I look at this, there has to be some here we go, this is it. Goaltenders. They have 4 goaltenders in the roster. None of them rookies. They have a goaltender conference. They don't know who they're going to play. They don't have a veteran coach anymore. They don't have any outstanding stars that will blow your mind. Adam Mashtrarin is the best player they have. Drafted second overall in the OHL, drafted 38th overall in the NHL by Florida this year. He was born in Maple, Ontario, but that's basically the only good player that stands out. But the reason they're doing so good, they might not have one good player, but they have players who are playing together. They don't need that one player who's throwing everything out there and scoring every goal for them if they have players who are playing together. Now we get to let's talk about Windsor. My biggest surprise of the season so far, definitely. Last year, they were one of the worst teams. But one more thing with Windsor, tough division. Saginaw and Sault Ste. Marie is right up. But they have good players like Logan Brown, Luke Boca, Christian DiGianto, probably butchering that name, Logan Stanley, Andrew Burns. And here's the thing, Sean Day, you definitely heard of him. Everyone around the OHL has heard of him. He's a very big guy. He likes to play physical. I'll just mention it. He's drafted by New York. Oh my god. He's a perfect match for New York. New York needs that physical play to get them into the next level. But Sean Day, physical appearance, physical guy, great player. They have a great goalie in Michael DiPietro. But the thing is, their problem, if they had one, is definitely their lack of stars, lack of team play. Sorry, they have few stars here, there, everywhere. Let's move on to Erie. Erie, they had and still have lots of talent. Definitely lots of talent. Alex DeBrincat, Tyler Radish, Dylan Strome, TJ Fergus, Darren Radish, Eric Cernick, Troy Timpano. Pickering, Ontario, wow, I did not know that. Did not know that, Pickering, Ontario. Pretty cool. I'm from Pickering actually. Anyway, but yeah, Troy Timpano is one of the best goalies in the OHL right now. In my opinion, the reason that they won't win the OHL Cup this year, London. London and Erie have been battling back and forth the entire year, past 2 years, past 3, past 4 years, for number one in the Western Conference. So, London and Erie building up a really great rivalry in my opinion. Yeah, basically that's it. Now let's move on to fourth in the OHL, North Bay. I know, but the thing is, think about it. The only reason North Bay is fourth in the OHL division, they're in the weakest division in the league, in the Central Division. They have no one either, in my opinion. The only reason that they're up there is because they're in a weak division. And that's the only reason they make the playoffs, is because they're in a really bad division. With, who else was, I know it, but it's just like, there you go. Niagara, Sudbury, Barrie, and Mississauga. We're weakest division definitely in the, if you look at all the divisions, the East Division, Oshawa, Hamilton, Ottawa, Central, North Bay, Niagara, Sudbury, Midwest, London, Erie, Kitchener, really tough division there. West Division, Sault Ste. Marie, Windsor, Sarnia. So they're definitely in the weakest division. I'm not saying that they're a bad team, 13-11-2, but truthfully, if it wasn't the division leaders in the top 4 and 5, top 4, then they wouldn't have been in it at all, in my opinion. So the only reason they're in it is because they're in the weakest division. So that's why they won't win it, is because they're not that good of a team. The only reason they're up there is because of the division. So now let's move on to the OHL Generals. I'm sorry, Gens fans, but the reason you guys won't win it is, is because special teams. Special teams, penalty kill, at home, amazing, over 85%. On the road, not that good, under 80%. Power play, terrible. Overall, home, away, anywhere they go, they suck on the power play. Mitchell Vanderson, starting to rise up. Anthony Cirelli, amazing always. Jeremy Boulder, standing on his head like he needs to keep this team in it. He's one shutout, so what? That doesn't prove how good of a goalie he actually is. One shutout? That's not. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that's only one shutout. Thing is, GA, amazing. Save percentage, amazing. So, Jeremy Boulder, son of Hall of Famer, and arguably one of the greatest goaltenders of all time, Martin Boulder, up there with Patrick Waugh and Dominic Hasek, and the Wall, Johnny Bauer, is the reason that OHL Generals, in my opinion, is up there. Because people like Cirelli, yes. People like Van Sample, sometimes. People like Sean Allen, no. Sean Allen, fighter. Team leader in penalty minutes. So, the reason that the Gens won't make it, I think it's just special teams when it comes to anything other than penalty kill at home ice. I'm sorry, fans. That's my favorite. OHL Generals are my favorite team as well, and I have a tough time admitting that. Sault Ste. Marie is next. Sault Ste. Marie played the Gens on Sunday and blew them out 9-3. They have a lot of great players. They have Zachary Sinishin, Logan Frost, who coming into the game against Oshawa had more penalty minutes. More power play points than regular season points. Frosty the power play man, as they said on TV. Connor Timmins, Joseph Waymakers, they're on a roll. Win against Oshawa on Sunday was their 7th in a row. They're rolling. They're the hottest team in the entire OHL right now, maybe even the CHL. They just have lots of great players. But the reason they won't make the playoffs, they will make the playoffs, no doubt. In my mind, no doubt that they'll make the playoffs. The reason they won't win the cup is because they don't have that depth anymore. You look at Waymakers, he can't win them the championship without a backup goalie. And Villatia, yes, he's a good goalie, but the thing is, he's not that experienced, and they don't want him. They probably won't put him in playoffs, and Waymakers won't be able to keep them in the entire OHL playoffs, especially when they're facing against teams like London and Erie. They need both goaltenders to keep them up, and I think Waymakers can do it, just not by himself. That's why they won't win the cup, is because they don't have the backup. Villada, yes, he's good, but not as good as Waymakers, and they need 2 Waymakers to be able to make it and beat London, Erie, Oshawa. Well, they beat Oshawa easy, but you know what I mean. Now, London, the best team in the OHL. No doubt, hard team to beat. No doubt, really deep team. No doubt, one of the best teams in the world. Wait now, even better than Toronto. Anyway, sorry, I just don't like Toronto much. Tyler Parsons, Tyler Johnson, and Trenton McGrail of all their goalies. 17th overall, Evan Bouchard, OHL draft. There's a lot of good players on this team, but that's the thing. Lots of good players, no stars anymore. Last year they were a dominant team. As they go through their, like, they lost a lot of people. They lost Christian Dvorak. They lost Chandler to what is it, Mississauga now? Matthew Chuck. They lost Jacob Graves. Yet they lost Brendan Burke to Arizona. But thing is, an overage. But they don't, apparently they're proving right now that they don't need them to make it and get all of those wins. So the only reason I'm really thinking that they won't win the OHL is another reason, the same way reason that Erie, but vice versa. They won't win it because they're Erie. Erie and London, it might not be that big of a rivalry right now, but in my opinion, in the next 3 years, it might grow even bigger than Peterborough and Oshawa. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion, because London and Erie both have spectacular teams, both in the same conference, battling for that top spot right now, and as long as London doesn't blow it, Erie doesn't blow it, they don't blow up their teams, I think London and Erie are going to be the best two teams in the Western Conference the next 3 at least years. So that's why I think why they won't win the cup is because of the rivalry. I'm not going to call it full-on rivalry, but the kind of a rivalry now with Erie. So that's the kind of why I think that London won't win the cup. So before you comment down below on anything that you think you disagree with or you super agree with, please comment, subscribe, like, and share this video. It really help. I'm trying to build up my channel, and if I can get likes and stuff on this video, I'll do more of these. I'll do why they will win the cup. I'll do anything OHL that you guys want. Just tell me and I'll do it. Thank you. This is Doug, signing off.